Hey, and welcome back to the channel. On today's video, I'll be giving you 5 Ashe tips you may not know and ways that you can master Ashe as well. As I have a few tips I wanted to cover, I'll break them down into her abilities. So first up, her ultimate, an incredible ability, but what are some hidden tips with this? First up, the one I really like is that you can actually ultimate through windows and panels. As long as there is a landing point with no obstruction, you can phase breach right there. A really nice way to escape if you and your team are stuck in the building and you can see through to escape. You can get away from the enemy to re-energize or move back in to finish them off, or just keep on making your escape. Another thing I like to do is when you're escaping from a fight or you're trying to get some more high ground, you can jump off of a building and then use your ultimate to go even further. So not only do you hide the breach so the enemies can't find it, you get a little extra boost. So you could potentially confuse the enemies. So for example, in this clip right here, you can see me jump off the building and a little under it phase breach away. The enemies, it might just look like it's inside the building. The new jump cannons, they can leave you out in the open and easily killed. Not with Ashe's ultimate though. Similar to Loba's bracelet, you can phase out of the jump cannon to safety should there be an enemy team on the other side or you're getting beamed by a charge rifle. Your team can also follow suit if you are in front of them and they follow you through. Now, whilst on the zipline you can't ult, you can jump off the zipline and immediately use your ultimate, which will be good if you're looking to reposition yourself or flank the enemy. So for example, if your team follows on the zipline, you can flank to the right of the enemy and come up behind them. Now this next tip I really like, and I have to give credit to Demntors on the Ashe main subreddit. A good way to orchestrate with your team about your ultimate is how long until it disappears. So when your ultimate is recharging, as soon as it hits 12% of your recharge, your phase breach will close. 15% if you have a gold helmet. This will be key if you want to push ahead of your team, but still give them a chance to catch up. So make sure you're very vocal with this. Onto Ashe's passive, marked for death. We all know how it works, but let's go over some things you may not know. First of all, you can use it on your allied death boxes to see where the people that killed your teammates are. A great tool to utilize if you're trying to rat and grab banners, so when they run away, you don't run into them when you're trying to get your teammates back. You can see banners from all over the map, so you can use this in multiple ways. The way I like to use it is if you see a death box outside the circle, you can then gatekeep the circle until they come in and you can kill them whilst they're helpless and with low HP. You can only use it once per death box, but if you have 3 death boxes, you can track the killer 3 times. Remember though, it will notify the enemy when you scan a death box. My favourite ability at the minute is Ashe's Tactical, a real menace and I think overpowered in the right hands. Up close, you want to use this all the time, it's off cooldown. It's almost impossible to miss and impossible for the enemies to escape. Just be careful when throwing it from a distance, as it's quite easily noticed and then easily avoided. The arc snare will also work if thrown against a wall, so it's good to block a doorway or throw in front of the enemies if they're running. Now, onto some good legend combos. Obviously, Octane is one of the most effective, as you can close gaps between you and the enemy insanely quickly. You can phase breach during a pad to flank the enemy from a different side of your team. So for example, as I said earlier with the zipline, if your teammates go in one direction with the jump pad, you can also do that but come up behind the enemies. Revenant is another good pick as his abilities synergize with Ashe very well. Using his tactical alongside her tactical can lead for devastating results. So keep that in mind because Seer can also work very well with the same idea. So essentially, try these 3 together if you and your friends are a very aggressive group. Obviously, if you're a very passive friendship group, it's not worth running these as they are a very aggressive team. And when it comes to picking what guns to use, I always find it is down to the player. But for me, with Ashe, I've been enjoying shotguns as you can keep people in one place and blast them with the shotguns. But then you can also use your ultimate to get super close and then continue to shotgun them. I also found that snipers are a really good pickup as you have your ultimate, you can attack and snipe from afar, and then you can zoom in, switch to your shotguns and finish off the enemies. Now a little bonus tip I have for you is to please use a lot of grenades. They're so much fun to use as Ashe because your arc snare lasts for enough time to get all of your grenades off and it's an instant down. Plus, if the enemy's teammates run over to help the downed player or the player that's stuck in the arc snare, you'll get extra points. I've secured many kills with this tactic. That's all the tips I have for Ashe. I hope you were able to take away some new things, and if you want to see more of my content, then make sure you subscribe.